Imagine a world before sugar, where every sweet drink was crafted from nature and ingenuity. Ancient civilizations used dates and honey in Egypt, rice and fruit in China, cacao in Mesoamerica, and grapes in Rome. These drinks were woven into rituals, medicine, and celebrations. Sharing a sweet drink is a ritual that connects us across millennia. In every era, it's a sweet reminder of what brings us together. Along the Nile, honey was more than a sweetener. It was a symbol of luxury and divine favor. Egyptians crafted shadeh, a honey wine, by fermenting honey with water, sometimes adding dates for depth. Reserved for royalty and the wealthy, this golden drink was a taste of the good life and a sacred offering to the gods. Beekeepers collected honey, mixed it with Nile water, and let wild yeasts work their magic in cool, sealed jars. The Egyptians mastered fermentation, even without knowing the science, using time and temperature to perfect their brew. Shadeh's golden color linked it to the sun god Ra, and its sweetness was thought to bring joy and vitality. Tomb paintings show pharaohs enjoying honey wine and lavish banquets in the temples offered to the gods. Drinking shadeh was a way to connect with the divine and celebrate Egypt's abundance. The legacy of Egyptian honey wine influenced later cultures. Greeks and Romans made mead, inspired by Egyptian methods. The basic recipe, honey, water, and patience, remains universal, but Egypt's version stands out for its cultural significance. Today was one of the earliest crafted sweet alcoholic drinks, showing a sophisticated understanding of fermentation. It transformed a simple ingredient into something extraordinary. The story of today reminds us that the quest for the perfect sweet drink is as old as civilization. Every sip was a celebration of nature, ingenuity, and the divine. The Egyptians' honey wine was more than a drink. It was a symbol of their world, and its influence still lingers in every glass of mead today. In ancient China, sweetness came from grains, especially rice. Early rice wines, or jus, began with simple methods, chewing rice to break down starches, then fermenting the mixture. Over time, the Chinese developed CW, a fermentation starter made from moldy grains, revolutionizing their brewing. Fused enzymes turned rice starch into sugar, enabling stronger, more consistent rice wines. High-quality glutinous rice was steamed and cooled, mixed with tea and water, then left to ferment in earthenware jars. Sometimes fruits like libations or plums were added, infusing the drink with delicate flavors. The result, a complex, sweet, and fragrant beverage, central to Chinese culture. Rice wine was present at festivals, weddings, and state ceremonies, praised by poets and used in medicine. Special vessels turned its consumption into an elegant ritual. The Chinese approach made sweet drinks both a pleasure and a cultural artifact. Their mastery of fermentation and flavor set them apart. Ancient Chinese brewers were patient, observant, and innovative. Their legacy lives on in every sip of rice wine today. Sweet elixirs in China were more than drinks. They were a celebration of craft and community. In Mesoamerica, cacao was more than food. It was currency, a divine gift, and the heart of a sacred drink. The Olmec, Maya, and Aztec peoples transformed cacao beans into a frothy, complex beverage. The process began with fermenting, drying, and roasting cacao beans, then grinding them into a rich paste. This paste was mixed with water and poured between vessels to create a prized foam. The drink was often flavored with chili, honey, vanilla, or agave nectar, making it spicy, sweet, or aromatic. Cacao drinks were reserved for priests, nobles, and rulers, symbols of power and spiritual connection. Montezuma was said to drink dozens of goblets daily, sometimes sweetened with honey. The preparation was ritualized, and the drink's foam was considered the most desirable part. Cacao was consumed during ceremonies believed to connect people with the gods and provide strength. The beverage was a marker of status, wealth, and tradition. Its preparation and consumption followed strict protocols. The sacred cacao drink shows how a single ingredient can define a culture's identity. It was both a spiritual and social centerpiece. The legacy of this ancient drink lives on in every cup of hot chocolate. Cacao's story is one of transformation, from sacred ritual to global delight. In Rome, wine was a daily staple, but condidum paradoxum, spiced, sweetened wine, was a true luxury. Romans boiled wine with honey, then infused it with exotic spices like pepper, bay leaf, saffron, and dates. result was a warm, aromatic drink, perfect for feasts and winter nights. Spiced wine showcased a host's wealth and access to far-flung trade routes. The process: simmer wine and honey, steep spices in a cloth bag, add more wine and dates, then gently reheat. Romans enjoyed this drink warm, much like today's mulled wine. It was a symbol of comfort, creativity, and status. Spiced wine reflected Rome's love for complex flavors and culinary experimentation. The tradition spread across Europe, evolving into the mulled wines we enjoy during the holidays. Every cup connects us to ancient feasts and festive gatherings. The legacy of Roman spiced wine is alive in every fragrant sip. It's a drink that warms both body and spirit, and it's a reminder that sweet drinks have always brought people together. Before sugar came, sweetness came from nature's pantry: honey, fruits, grains, and even plant sap. Honey was prized across continents, its flavor shaped by the flowers bees visited. Dates enriched Egyptian honey wine, lychees and plums flavored Chinese rice wine, cacao pulp aided fermentation in Mesoamerica. Grapes were the foundation of Roman wine, their sugars key to fermentation. Fruits added not just sweetness but complexity, acids, tannins, and aromas. The Chinese used kadibu to unlock sugars in rice, turning a staple grain into a sweet drink. Mesoamericans tapped agave sap for agua miel, which could be fermented into pulque. Geography and climate dictated which sweeteners dominated: honey where bees thrived, grapes in vineyards, cacao and agave in the tropics. Each culture's drinks reflected their land and resources. These choices gave every sweet beverage its unique character. Ancient people were resourceful, transforming local plants into delightful drinks. Their creations were authentic expressions of place and tradition. Every ingredient told a story of ingenuity and connection to the land. Despite vast distances, ancient cultures shared key techniques for crafting sweet drinks. Fermentation was universal. Egyptians, Chinese, and Romans all turned sugars from honey, rice, or grapes into alcohol. Infusion was another common thread. Romans spiced their wine, Mesoamericans flavored cacao, and Chinese added fruits to rice wine. These methods allowed endless creativity and customization. Cultures sought control and consistency. China's Keiyu starter, Egypt's cool cellars, Mesoamerica's foaming technique. This shift from accident to craft marked a new era in drink making. The finest sweet drinks were reserved for rituals, feasts, and the elite. Egyptian shade, Mesoamerican cacao, Roman spiced wine, and Chinese Jew all marked special occasions. Sweet drinks elevated events, showed respect, and fostered community. The drive for quality and ritual was universal. Across civilizations, a carefully prepared drink was a symbol of celebration. These shared methods reveal a common human impulse to make life's moments sweeter and to connect across time and place through the art of the drink. Sweet drinks were never just for thirst. They were the glue of ancient society. In Rome, spiced wine broke social barriers at feasts. In China, rice wine inspired poets and friendships. Serving a fine drink signaled wealth and power. Pharaohs with honey wine, Mesoamerican lords with cacao, Romans with exotic spices. These beverages reinforced social hierarchies and connections. Sweet drinks also bridged the mortal and divine. Libations to gods, sacred cacao ceremonies, and intoxicating rituals. They marked life's milestones: births, weddings, funerals. The taste and aroma of a traditional drink evoked memory, comfort, and belonging. Rituals gave structure and meaning to life's biggest moments. Sweet drinks were woven into the emotional fabric of every culture. They were more than beverages. They were vessels of memory, identity, and community. Ancient sweet drinks live on in every cup we raise today. Roman spiced wine became mulled wine and glögg. Mesoamerican cacao evolved into hot chocolate and chocolate bars. The art of fermentation, perfected in China, still shapes rice wines and craft brews. Mead, the honey wine of Egypt, is enjoying a global revival. These drinks connect us to our ancestors and to the land, reminders that all sweetness once came from nature. Modern beverages echo ancient traditions, blending authenticity with innovation. The story of sweet drinks is a story of human connection across time, place, and culture. Every sip is a taste of history, ingenuity, and community. Our craving for sweetness is timeless, and so is the ritual of sharing a drink. The first sweet sips began a flavorful journey that continues to this day.